Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar and we just got a fantastic hotfix which addresses Magnum Force. Now, for the longest time I said that this thing was grossly underpowered simply because it requires a lot of endo to max out, 30,000 endo and 1.5 million credits, and it only gave you 66% extra damage at the cost of minus 55% accuracy, this being a corrupted mod. Don't know how to farm corrupted mods? Link in the cards right now. That said, it's being buffed to 165%, which is the same amount you would get from heavy caliber. Just keep in mind this is for secondary weapons, not just pistols. I am a little bit intrigued in why didn't they give it the full 220% that you get from Hornet Strike, but maybe they'll tweak it or they run their own math and so on and so forth. That said, this will change up certain things on certain builds. There are certain secondary weapons that can take advantage of Magnum Force. For example, beam weapons, which don't really care about accuracy. And you might be thinking Sinuate Gamma Core and the Atomos. Unfortunately, for the Sinuate Gamma Core, the little beam reticule kind of goes haywire. So let me show you how that one works. So let's quickly grab the Sinuate Gamma Core, and as you will see, I have Magnum Force on. This is a pretty standard everyday build, and you will see that the beam goes completely haywire. So it's gonna really come down to you if you're cool with something like this or not. Close range shots aren't really gonna matter, but it's not really all that precise anymore. So as you can see, the beam pretty much plays outside of the crosshairs. I didn't expect that, honestly I did not, but let's have a look at the Atomos and see how it reacts to it. Obviously beam secondary weapons are gonna be prime candidates for something like this. And again, I still don't understand fully why didn't they give them the full 220% that Hornet Strike offers. So let's see, Magnum Force is already on. Of course, some builds will be updated because of it. As you can see, this one doesn't really have a problem. Straight as an arrow for the most part, so you don't really need to worry about the accuracy penalty when it comes to the Atomos. And again, I will have to update certain builds. This does make Magnum Force viable on certain weapons, but it's not fantastic. I mean, it's not gonna revolutionize the way we build our weapons. You're still pretty much gonna follow the same basic guidelines. Keep in mind that a mod such as this would only be really applicable when you're talking about weapons that cannot double dip, both into critical chance and status chance, or better said, hybrid weapons. On weapons that you would look for multi-shot and damage above everything else in weapons, that's kind of where this mod can come into play and mostly replace Auger Pact on certain builds. Now I want to talk about Mesa's Regulators because I think there's a really nice buff to talk about here, and we're going to be talking about Index. Everybody loves Mesa and Index, right? And this is gonna be your Index build. You're simply gonna make a whole lot of radiation. Normally you would swap out Magnum Force before this and maybe add some more elemental damage to the Regulators, but again, in Index, ideally what you want to build is radiation damage. Hornet Strike, Prime Target Cracker, Prime Pistol Gambit. If you don't have primes, go right on ahead and use the normal versions. Trust me, it's gonna be just fine for the first 4, 5, even 6 ways. You can even do something like a Prodman run without any prime mods at all. Battle Diffusion, Lethal Torrent. Do not drop Lethal Torrent on Mesa. Okay, it's simply a bad idea. Convulsion and Prime Heated Charge. If you don't have Prime, normal Heated Charge. And Magnum Force comes in to take, again, the spot of what you would use to get a bit more radiation. Since you don't really care in Index about proccing status, proccing that radiation, what you want is the biggest wallop of radiation that you have. Many of the more tougher enemies in Index being equipped with alloy armor. So again, this is gonna be your Index build for Mesa. That said, it gets a bit more fuzzy when you're talking about everyday builds. Let's assume you're going, I don't know, versus Grenier. Yes, the toughest targets in Warframe and all whatnot. Well, in that case, you don't really want to forgo the status chance anymore. You do want to proc corrosive, so your subsequent shots will be dealing more and more damage. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go for the 60/60s or not? Pistol Pestilence, and the electricity one will be Jolt. Now, if you go for an approach such as this, you do get a 50% shot status chance per shot of the Regulators. And let's keep in mind that you're going to be using an Arcane to increase your fire rate and all whatnot. And Mesa does fire faster and faster the smaller the targeting reticule gets. So it's not really a problem applying a lot of statuses. Besides, going for both of the 60/60 mods can be a bit of an issue simply because, yes, you did increase your status chance, but you lowered your corrosive value on the weapon to 1347, and you got 561 impact. If we keep in mind the IPS rules in Warframe, impact, puncture, and slash have a 4 times greater chance at proccing over elemental types such as heat, corrosive, radiation, and so on and so forth. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by increasing the status chance, but then again you are lowering your corrosive value. My patchwork solution to something like this is simply use 160-60 and 190 mod, and you can go for something like this. Now it's true, it doesn't make a huge difference. You are dropping 12% status chance for not that high of an increase in corrosive. You get, I think, 300, well, that is significant actually, it's 350 extra corrosive. So basically your corrosive value is still not higher than impact, but at least it's in striking distance. Again, it's gonna really come down to you. What do you want to prioritize? Because building status, while may be great, keep in mind that you will be proccing mostly impact. So that's pretty much it. That's kind of it for this overview on Magnum Force. I do welcome the change. Honestly, this was a dead mod up until today, and I do like the changes. I'm just a little bit, I'm curious. Did they think of Serration when they buffed it to 165? And will they give it the full 220 that Hornet Strike has? That would make it a whole lot more viable. But in any case, that's going to do it for today. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you got any feedback for me, by all means, leave it in the comment section down below. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.